The story of Cain and Abel is one of the most profound and tragic tales in human history. It's a story that speaks to the deepest parts of our nature: love, jealousy, anger, and the consequences of our choices. Imagine the world's first family. Adam and Eve, after leaving Eden, had their first child, a son named Cain. Eve was overjoyed, declaring, "I have gotten a man-child with the help of the Lord." Soon after, they welcomed another son, Abel. As these brothers grew up, they chose different paths in life. Abel became a shepherd, tending to his flocks with care, while Cain worked the earth as a farmer. One day, both brothers decided to bring offerings to God. Cain brought fruits and vegetables from his harvest, while Abel selected the finest firstborn lambs from his flock. Here's where the story takes its first turn. God looked favorably upon Abel's offering, but showed no regard for Cain's. Now pause for a moment and think about how Cain must have felt. His face fell, and anger began to consume him. God, seeing this, spoke directly to Cain with a warning that resonates even today. "Why are you angry? If you do well, will not your countenance be lifted up? But if you don't, sin is crouching at your door, desiring to control you. You must master it." In what became humanity's first murder, he led his brother Abel to a field and killed him. The ground soaked up Abel's blood, marking a terrible milestone in human history. When God asked Cain about Abel's whereabouts, Cain's response became one of the most infamous lines in Scripture: "Am I my brother's keeper?" The defiance in these words revealed the darkness that had overtaken his heart. God's response was swift and severe. He told Cain that his brother's blood was crying out from the ground and pronounced a curse upon him. The very earth that had received Abel's blood would now reject Cain's efforts to farm it, forcing him to become a restless wanderer. This ancient story carries timeless lessons about the destructive power of unchecked jealousy, the importance of controlling our emotions, and the far-reaching consequences of our actions. It reminds us that we are indeed our brothers and sisters' keepers, responsible for how we treat one another in this world we share. Let me take you on a journey through one of the most intriguing chapters of human history: the story of Cain after his infamous act. You might know about his terrible deed, but what happened next? What became of the world's first murderer? After Cain's crime, God pronounced his punishment. The earth, which had received his brother's blood, would no longer yield its strength to him. Imagine being a farmer whose touch makes the soil barren. That was Cain's curse. He was condemned to be a wanderer, forever restless on the earth. But here's where it gets interesting. Cain's response wasn't just acceptance, it was fear. "My punishment is too great," he cried out to God. It's fascinating how the first murderer's greatest fear was becoming a victim himself. And then comes a surprising twist: God's mercy. Despite Cain's terrible crime, God placed a mark on him, a divine protection. Anyone who would dare harm Cain would face sevenfold vengeance. Think about that. The man who showed no mercy to his brother received mercy from God himself. But the story doesn't end there. Cain settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Despite his wanderer's curse, he built the first recorded city in human history, naming it after his son Enoch. From this point, we see the first glimpses of human civilization emerging. Through Cain's line came remarkable innovations. His descendants became the pioneers of human culture. Jabal became the father of those who raise livestock and live in tents, the first nomadic shepherds. Jubal created the first musical instruments, the lyre and pipe. And Tubal-Cain, he became the first metalworker, forging bronze and iron tools. It's a story that reminds us how even from darkness, light can emerge. From the line of the first murderer came music, metalwork, and the foundations of human civilization. It's a powerful testament to how grace can work in mysterious ways, and how human progress often comes from unexpected places.